The United States and Colombia recently clashed over deportation flights. Colombia refused entry to 2 U.S. military planes. These planes carried Colombian citizens being deported from the U.S. Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the treatment of these deportees. He cited a video showing the deportees in handcuffs and restraints. Petro objected to the use of military aircraft for such deportations. This situation highlighted the growing tensions between the two nations. Colombia's refusal marked a significant escalation in the debate over U.S. immigration policies. It brought to light the human cost of deportation and its impact on bilateral relations. The incident sparked a diplomatic standoff between the two countries. It also raised questions about the use of military aircraft for civilian purposes. The U.S. argued that it was simply enforcing its immigration laws. They emphasized the need for cooperation from other countries in accepting deported citizens. Colombia, however, insisted on the humane treatment of its citizens. They demanded a halt to what they perceived as degrading deportation practices. This disagreement brought into sharp focus the complexities of international relations. It highlighted the delicate balance between national sovereignty and human rights. The situation called for a swift resolution to prevent further escalation and potential damage to the U.S.-Colombian relationship. U.S. President Donald Trump responded with strong measures. He threatened to impose a 25% tariff on Colombian goods. This tariff could have risen to 50% if Colombia did not back down. Trump also implemented a travel ban on Colombian officials. He revoked their visas, escalating the diplomatic tension. Furthermore, visa processing at the U.S. Embassy in Bogotá was suspended, directly impacting Colombian citizens. Trump accused Petro of jeopardizing U.S. national security and public safety by refusing the deportations. He argued that Colombia was failing to fulfill its responsibility to accept its citizens. This stance reflected Trump's hardline approach to immigration. It signaled his administration's willingness to use economic and diplomatic pressure to achieve its goals. Colombia, however, refused to be bullied. President Petro threatened to retaliate with tariffs on U.S. goods. He insisted on dignified treatment for deported migrants, emphasizing their human rights. Colombia's Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo echoed this sentiment. He stressed the need for respectful treatment of Colombian citizens, regardless of their legal status in the U.S. This firm stance demonstrated Colombia's resolve to defend its interests and principles. It showed that they were willing to risk economic repercussions to protect their citizens abroad. Colombia's actions sent a strong message to the U.S. and the international community. They asserted their right to be treated as an equal partner, not subordinate to U.S. pressure. After a period of intense negotiations, the two countries reached a resolution. Colombia agreed to accept the deported migrants. They stipulated that this acceptance would be without limitations or delays. This agreement signaled a de-escalation of the conflict. It paved the way for a return to normalized diplomatic relations. The U.S. agreed to hold back on imposing the threatened tariffs. However, they maintained visa restrictions on Colombian officials. They also implemented enhanced customs inspections for goods arriving from Colombia. These measures were designed to ensure Colombia's compliance with the agreement. They also reflected the remaining tension between the two nations. To facilitate the return of its citizens, Colombia offered a symbolic gesture. They offered to use their presidential aircraft to transport the deportees. This gesture demonstrated their commitment to resolving the situation. It also underscored their concern for the well-being of their citizens. The agreement averted a potentially damaging trade war between the two countries. It also reaffirmed the importance of dialogue and diplomacy in resolving international disputes. However, the underlying tensions and disagreements over immigration policies remained. The standoff between the U.S. and Colombia over deportation flights had significant implications. It underscored the complexities of international relations in an increasingly interconnected world. The incident served as a reminder of the economic and political leverage the U.S. holds on the global stage. It also highlighted the willingness of smaller nations to challenge U.S. policies they perceive as unjust. The dispute had a tangible impact on the economic relationship between the two countries. The U.S. is a major trading partner for Colombia. Colombia is a key ally in the U.S. war on drugs. The threat of tariffs created uncertainty in the markets. It raised concerns about potential economic fallout on both sides. The incident also strained diplomatic relations between the two nations. It fueled anti-American sentiment in Colombia. It also raised questions about the future of U.S. Colombian cooperation on issues like drug trafficking and regional security. The deportation showdown serves as a cautionary tale. It demonstrates the potential consequences of unilateral actions in a globalized world. It emphasizes the need for greater understanding, respect, and cooperation between nations. The incident highlights the importance of finding common ground on issues of shared concern. It underscores the need for humane and just solutions to global challenges like immigration.